Okay, so this is the interface you have when you open up the ProConnect Tax Online. I have started a tax return, and so you can see that tax return right here. You will click to start a new return. And when you do, you put your client's information in there. That's given in the problem. Now, some problems don't give all the information. So some of it you can make up if it's going to be essential to the tax return, but you put in the client's information there. Once you've created the client, you can open their tax return and begin working on it. All of the things that you need will be in this side menu. And so here's where you put in all of the client information. Filing status here, in this case, for this tax return, it's a married couple, married filing jointly. If you want to explore the possibility of them married filing separately, you can have the software do a comparison between the two. Here's where you put in their information. Obviously, their date of birth is important. That's for some calculations. Over here, you can go on to their dependents. You will create a tab for each dependent with their names. Now, the software does not decide whether it's appropriate to claim a person as a dependent, but that will be a determination you make before you put the dependent in there. When you go to put in their income, salaries, wages, tips, we put it in as if we have a W-2 with the information that's given to us. Here's where we put the wages, the federal income tax withheld. These Social Security and Medicare items are calculated for us, and they will populate as soon as you put in the other things. There's a separate tab for each W-2, even though they get combined on the tax return. There's a separate tab for each W-2. So if the taxpayer changed jobs during the year, they're likely to have more than one W-2, so you would have one for each of their W-2s plus their spouses. You can add a new W-2 by clicking on the plus. When you're ready to put in their deductions, adjustments to income are like what we learned about. The adjustments for adjusted gross income would be like IRA contributions. And then we have itemized deductions, things that they can deduct. Now, this is a 2017 tax return. And so even though the information and the problems in the book are 2018, in order to be able to practice with some tax software, we have to do a 2017 return. We pretend that information is for 2017, and we calculate for 2017, knowing that 2018 is going to be very different. The standard deduction is almost twice as much. There are no personal exemptions, things like that. Anyway, in this case, we were given medical expenses. We were given taxes, that we were given property taxes, which are also called real estate taxes. So we scroll down and put that in. We were given home mortgage interest. We were also told about cash contributions, the 50% type. We haven't learned about this yet, but we will get to those, but that's where these go. So that's an introduction to the tax software. I encourage you to poke around and see where different things go. Remember that everything is managed on this side menu here. When you're finished, you can click check return. It will give you critical diagnostics. So most of these diagnostics, these are things that you can't file the return without. Most of these things we didn't know, or I just haven't put in yet, but you can click on them and find the place where they go, and clear those. Then once the return is prepared, you can click file return. and it will generate the PDF for you to look at. You can click View Return PDF, and it starts with a cover letter. It gives summaries of various things. This is an e-file signature authorization. If we were e-filing for them, there's the payment voucher they owe. Not everything from this problem is on this tax return. This is just an example. This is the page 1 of the tax return, and you can see there's the IRA contribution. This is the combined wages. Here are the children, and here's the child tax credit, which in 2017 it would have been lower than it would be in 2018. Here's the federal income tax withheld and the amount they owe. Here's the itemized deductions that you can see we put on the tax return, and then various other forms.